Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I'm here because I heard a president, ex-president, say on the telly that being president doesn't really mean everything that people think it means. Being president doesn't give you the right to sit up and make decisions on your own about what you're going to do in a day or a week or a quarter or anything like that. It says that you're getting basically getting briefings and you're getting someone telling you really every day, every morning what the agenda is and how basically you are to approach it. And sometimes you're getting speeches that you're reading but that you didn't write. But it is to give the impression that you are in charge. And most of us can say we already kind of figured that out, that we hadn't put that kind of power in an individual. Everybody had to double check with somebody, except now we got a guy, or you got a guy that's serving as a fake president who seems like doesn't have to talk to anybody, just talk off the top of his head and going away. Doesn't matter how violent it is, how stupid it is, or ineffective, or not correct. It doesn't matter. It just seems that he go off the top of his head. And yet, and still, we say that no one have that privilege, that it is a power bigger than a one person in any country being able to exercise that kind of power. But powers collectively gathering together, making decisions and passing it on to people who are in a position to see that it is carried on. And so we see this and we get mad at presidents and even Trump doing what he's doing. We know that it's Project 2025. He might agree with it, he might not, but he wanted to be president. And they say, well, we'll help you get in there, but you got to take care of this. And all he wants to be is glorified. And so they got him in, and he's taking care of their business. And so we have to uh, deal with whatever the situation brings back to. Because what it actually says, even though we just got through saying it is the expressions of the powers that be, it is the expression of the collective that are doing and making these decisions. But at the same time, it represents we, the people who feel, in most part, don't even know what's going on, let alone having something to do with it. Yet, as ignorant as we are, that ignorance plays a role in having something to do with it. That ignorance plays just as major of a role in causing the pain and suffering on we, the people, as any other thing. So let us not think for 1 minute that we are excused because we are ignorant. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is um, something else that I wanted to draw attention to, and I want to make sure that it is recognized, and that's ICE. You know, they got something called ICE. Some people say it's some secret police, some Gestapo thing, but whatever it is, it's evil. His evil is on his face, covered up with a mask. So evil that it knows that if anyone that put money in his pocket, tell him to slap his mother side the head, kick his dad in the butt, he do it. But he covers his face up so his parents won't know that it's them that's doing it to them. That's what ICE is like. But you, the American people, I want you to know that when you see an ICE guy doing things to individuals that you see them doing, that sometimes we see your TV doing, when they're roughing those guys up like that, they are not just the ones that's roughing them up. They are roughing them up. And you, the people watching, sitting around with your cameras, you are empowering them to do exactly what they are doing. Let me say it again. When you sit back and watch ICE grab these guys and do what they're doing, you are empowering them to do exactly what they're doing. Let me ask you this. What if you saw there was a Crip, one of the gangs, a Crip doing that to some citizen? What would you do? Would you just stand back and watch? What if it was a Blood or somebody else? Let's say somebody from Israel or somebody from Russia doing something, or to some citizen in this country and you knew it, would you just stand back and allow it to happen? Even if you saw a group of guys beating up a cop, I mean, just beating up a cop, would you allow that to happen? Of course you would. So I'm asking, why would you let ICE do that to a fellow citizen? Or not, but a fellow human being? The thing of it is this. You might say, well, he's ICE. Let me tell you something. A gang is a gang. Just because it's a government gang, it's still a gang. So what you see happen through the hands, through the actions of ISIS, is no different than that which happens through the hands of blood. It's no different than that which happens through the hands of Crip. I don't hear too much about them. They must be good guys now, and ISIS are the bad guys. But they are the same, and they're supposed to be treated the same because human beings are supposed to be treated righteous. And I don't care what government says. Well, we don't like you, we hate you, so we're gonna get some devils and cover their face up so they can do anything that they want to you and want nobody to know who they are. That's the people that allow that to happen. That's the people that allow that to happen. So when you see ICE doing these things to people whoever they are, maybe they just people who came over here hoping that they can get some help. Maybe they were some people who just came over here hoping that the grace of God was a little bit different here than it was from where they were running from, and came over here and found out that the devil was alive and well. And where is God? Is God stopping it? I hear that they got some people up there in the courts saying that this is wrong, and they're trying to get the courts to stop it. But in many instances, we see where the courts are trying to stop something only to have it appealed and it goes right on, which means this still is the people. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're playing a game. We are playing a game. And this game requires that we change. If we don't change, it's the same old thing. And when I say change, what I mean is this: satisfy the people. Satisfy the people by making sure that the plan, the original plan, which you do not know, you're not familiar with the original plan for him on this earth. You don't know that original plan. And when I say the original plan, I'm talking about the plan of peace, the plan of prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and you living your dreams. I'm talking about the plan of your needs, your wants, and your desires being met. I'm talking about you having to suffer for nothing that's made by the hands of man. And because everybody's participating in the process of life on this earth, that everything that's made by the hands of man belongs to all of the people for them to access that they need, want, or desire. And they owe no man nothing but to treat them as they want to be treated, and let the power that is in them give them the ability and the guidance to do what they do. So that to me, that's the kind of change we need. And who's talking about that? Well, I understand that the powers that be that's doing all of the destructive stuff to America does not permit that to happen. In fact, I even heard that they're telling the media and have told the media to calm down a little bit. So don't be talking about those negative things that's in the country. Don't talk about the things that's holding the nation back, but constantly lift up the nation like Donald Trump. He walks up and say, I'm the greatest of everything. I mean, you can't beat that. I'm the greatest of everything. And yet he wanted every newspaper and every media source to say Donald Trump is the greatest of everything, knowing that that's a big lie. But that's what they're asking the people to do, to pass the lie along so you can facilitate whatever the lie is trying to do. But I can say this, what the lie is doing. It's causing pain and suffering. It's causing terror. It's causing killing, mass killing. It's causing hatred and racism. It's causing bigotry. It's causing people thinking about war. It even talking about nuclear war. All kinds of crazy tale stuff that comes out of the mind of people who don't have a God, and they're following some people who knows no better. So I just wanted to take a moment. Let me see, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything else here I want to say before I close out. Okay, the citizenship of Taiwan. That's okay. Oh yeah, I heard also that Trump is coming for your black men. So you get all the other people out of the country. So and you want to make America great back when you had them slaves, when you were separating them from their family, when you were hanging them. You want to take them back there. And so now you say they're getting some change that was designed for people who had a heart. You want to control that and tell them get their asses back in the field where black people belong at $1.65 probably. Well, anyway, the truth of the matter is that black people are coming, but they're not coming to go back to the field. Black people are coming to be instruments of God, to show white people what God is. That God is not the God of slavery. God is not the God of abuse and lying and cheating. God is of love, of righteousness. I'm talking about the real God. They tell me, I don't know, that he had a son that was black. They tell me that he was raised in a place where black people live. Now, I don't know for sure because to me, I don't see God as a color. I see God as power, righteous power. I say God as righteous power. And I see Jesus or whatever Jesus represents in whomever does it represent. It doesn't matter, man or woman, straight or gay. If you represent love, then you're okay with me. You ain't got no arguments with me. So I just want to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, because the way I see God, there are many of you that see it the same way. But it's no good if we just keep it to ourselves. You got to get busy. And black folks, you know how to do it. Take care of business.